The harder you try to fall asleep, the more alert your brain becomes. Your own effort is the problem. You lie in bed, eyes closed, willing yourself to sleep. Minutes pass, then an hour. The more you concentrate on falling asleep, the more awake you feel. This is not a lack of willpower. It is a neurological paradox. Sleep requires the brain to deactivate its conscious control systems. But trying to sleep is an act of conscious control. You are asking your brain to do two opposite things at once. Stay active enough to monitor whether you are falling asleep, and shut down enough to actually fall asleep. This creates a feedback loop that keeps you awake. Sleep is controlled by a cluster of neurons in the hypothalamus called the ventrolateral preoptic nucleus, or VLPO. When these neurons activate, they release GABA, an inhibitory neurotransmitter that suppresses the brain's arousal centers. This works like a flip switch. The VLPO gradually builds up sleep pressure throughout the day using a chemical called adenosine. By nighttime, adenosine levels are high enough to trigger the switch. But here is the critical detail. The switch cannot be forced from the outside. It responds to chemical accumulation, not conscious intention. Telling yourself to sleep does not increase adenosine levels. It does the opposite. When you try to force sleep, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for planning and self-monitoring, becomes more active. This activation signals the brain's arousal system, specifically the locus coeruleus, to release norepinephrine. Norepinephrine is a stress hormone that increases alertness. The more you worry about not sleeping, the more norepinephrine you produce. Researchers call this sleep effort. A 2021 study in the Journal of Sleep Research found that people who scored highest on sleep effort scales took an average of 45 minutes longer to fall asleep than those who did not try to control the process. The most effective treatment for chronic insomnia is not medication. It is cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, known as CBTI. One of its core techniques is paradoxical intention. Patients are told to lie in bed and try to stay awake. By removing the effort to sleep, the brain's arousal system calms down. Sleep arrives naturally. Another technique is stimulus control. If you cannot fall asleep within 20 minutes, you leave the bed. This breaks the association between the bed and frustration. Over time, the brain relearns that the bed means sleep, not struggle. Clinical trials show CBTI works better than sleeping pills in the long term. The military developed a technique during World War II that claims to put soldiers to sleep in 2 minutes. It involves systematically relaxing each muscle group, clearing the mind by visualizing a calm scene, and repeating the phrase "do not think" for 10 seconds. Reports suggest a 96% success rate after 6 weeks of practice. Modern sleep science supports a simpler principle. Cool the body, dim the lights, and follow a consistent routine. Core body temperature needs to drop by about 1 degree Celsius to initiate sleep. A cool room, around 18 degrees Celsius, and a warm shower before bed, which causes a rebound cooling effect, are the most evidence-backed interventions. If you found this fascinating, subscribe to Curious Science. Next time, we are exploring why waking up is so hard.